Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. Gonna go through a few rapid fire product unboxings. Next up, we've got the dungeon crawl card game Kreel Manor by All or Nothing Publication Productions. I've also got the playmat with it that we'll take another look at. First up, let's look at the back of the game itself. Kreel Manor, the citadel of horrors, is filled with twisting passages, chilling traps, desperate souls, and deadly enemies, yet it is your destination. You will have to bribe, threaten, sneak, deceive, and fight your way through hordes of enemies to reach your goal, and confront the deadly Lord of the Manor himself. If you fail, the pernicious tide of toxic gloom that threatens to engulf the beautiful lands of Kilfirth will be unleashed. Explore a huge variety of stunning yet death-dealing dungeons as one of 3 unique heroes, over 10 challenging scenarios, as you manage your abilities to defeat threats and discover the hundreds of perils of Kreel Manor firsthand. This is a dungeon crawl card game, 1 to 3 players, 14 plus, 30 minutes per player. Before we crack this open, let's take another look at the playmat, which we can finally get the plastic wrap out of the way. So we'll take a look at the playmat that's actually going to lay out that's going to have everything laid out for the game. We've got your various asset decks over here. The Threat Manor, Lord's Vengeance, not sure what that is. Damage tokens and spirit dials. Look like they're accessories of some kind. Some shadows cards. Threats. Threat discard. Locations. Active locations. Skills and skill discards. Then when we look on the back, we see that it's the same thing, just with art on it. So I'm going to leave that close for the time being. It may help make things make more sense as we start to dig into the game itself. So, this is actually from somebody off Board Game Geek that I bought this, it's supposed to have 2 expansions in it, and the playmat, all for $150. So, let's crack this open and see what we've got in here. I've been on a little bit of a dungeon crawl kick ever since I got, there's an audiobook series that I was just devouring whole on Audible for the last month, called Dungeon Diving by Bruce Centaur. I think I started into it and I just pretty much devoured it whole. Right now I'm waiting for the 10th book, I think it is, to come out on Audible. I've already read it on Kindle, but I like reading it on Audible as well. So let's take a look at the classes in here. We've got the Necromancer, which may be my first class because I always like these darker spellcasters. And it looks like we've got a male and a female side, just like in the Kilfirth games. We've got the Melody Scribe. I am not musically inclined. A War Mage. Actually, I think some of these are probably expansion classes. So a War Mage, very cool. A Night Raven, which looks very Hunter-esque. And a Wolf of the North, which looks like like a warrior paladin kind of thing. Then we've got components for dials, which I'm sure we're going to need both sides of these. There should be fastener pieces I'm expecting in here somewhere. We've got the rule book, which we'll give our cursory thumb through to. The Book of Fables, which I think is probably the stories. We'll give that enough of a thumb through to figure out what it actually is before I decide if we're going to thumb through any further. Then we've got all of our components. Backside of those. We've got our dice, which are normal-sized dice, so I'm really happy about that. Then we've got all our cards. Good thing I've got about 5 bajillion sleeves. I don't have as many of this size sleeve. I'm not sure if this takes mini European or mini American sleeves. And we've got more cards with that. Presumably dividers. Tarot cards, which are probably the locations. There are the aforementioned fasteners that I was thinking the dividers were going to need. We've got memory scribe, which those are sealed. And necromancers, those are probably for the expansion classes. We've got more plastic baggies. Let's make sure there's nothing under the divider. There is not, but I'm not sure the insert is going to stay once I figure out how I'm storing everything in here. Anyway, we can start putting everything back in the box. And then we'll give the rule book our cursory thumb through. Like I said, we'll also thumb through the Book of Fables enough. I gotta be careful about punching these because I'm not ready to deal with the components yet. We'll give the Book of Fables enough of a thumb through as well, so I can figure out if that's what I think it is. I'm expecting that to be the encounters, and I don't want to be spoiled if that's what they end up being. So let's bring the rule book in shot. I'm not going to go too far with the Book of Fables. Like I said, I'm going to give that enough of a thumb through until I'm sure of what it actually is. Okay, looks like a spirit dial. Okay, so I will need to put those together at some point. Okay, looks like the layout of the cards. Excuse me. Looks like a specific paragraph number. So yeah, it looks like the Book of Fables is going to be narrative flavor text as well as game effects that are triggered. So actually, I'm not going to thumb through that until it comes up in a game. And we've got our skills, assets, statuses, and wounds. Definitely the familiar Kilfirth art style, which I actually kind of like from Gloom of Kilfirth. How to set everything up. How gameplay works. We've got a delve phase, a threat phase, a draw phase, a play phase, spirit phase, and an end phase. Seems, well, I was going to say a little excessive at first glance, but it might all make sense when I actually pull this game out. Got the campaign, Endless Dungeons. That could be fun. Some difficulty variants. Multiplayer co-op mode, a glossary. Round summary. This looks like probably our quick ref. Well, we'll see if there's a quick reference on the back of this. We've got an index and art on the back. So like I said, I'm not going to thumb through the Book of Fables now that I know that it's actually narrative text. So that is everything in the box for Kreel Manor, the Dungeon Crawl card game. One more unboxing that I want to get to yet tonight, so we'll get that in here and we'll get that done. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.